And we are live for episode 53 of Filmaholics Entertainment Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We got Kenny here. It's 2020. It's 2200 shingles. Kevin Corcoran here as well. But the main guest, the main kind of the surprise is that you're not seeing Vu. You're not seeing Brad. You are seeing Kenny. The man has returned. Former Fappy winner for best guest host. And I think your last episode was with the main group. Gosh, what was it?
It was in Cabo.
Back in Cabo.
Yeah, the whole
Welcome,
group.
Kenny.
Yeah, thank you. Happy to be here. Happy to be here, man.
Yeah, man, we got a fun episode. How's everything been since the last time you were on? I feel like we were all maybe half in the bag, shit-faced a little bit, drinking, but we had it was a really good conversation.
It was. I don't even think were we even drunk? That was a pre-dinner pod.
Yeah, I know I probably was. I'd been having fun the entire week.
Yeah, that was a good episode too. It was a good not like Star Wars Marvel episode.
It was good because it was good for as well as it could have been, considering we had 9 people.
Yeah, was it 9? Was it more than that?
Yeah, people were just trying to talk over each other the entire time.
Mainly me. Let's be real.
No, I mean me too, dude. I'm trying to rein it in and make it where everyone can cohesively, you can hear something coherently.
You did a good job.
Yeah, thanks, man. Well, hey, and this is the first time you've seen kind of the new background. I mean, look behind me, dude. I got
you've. Wait, that's new, but we've potted since you.
Have we potted with the new location?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But the lightsaber and Darth Vader helmet went there.
It's kind of sick, right?
Yeah, it's kind of sick.
Oh, maybe I should light it up.
Have you seen? Is that like the Elite FX one?
No, that's not the Elite FX one. No,
damn.
So that one's hiding. I don't want it out.
You have one.
I don't want to break it.
I have.
I got the Disney one.
Yeah. The I used to have one, but then when I moved to LA, I gave it to my brother, and he has like 9 now.
Okay.
Damn, it's insane.
I'm kind of jealous of that, honestly.
He has. Let me find it. I'll find it.
Okay. So, I mean, I guess, and just to give everyone a rundown, today's going to be kind of a heavy news episode. I feel like we're just kind of make sure we there was a big article this week about like a huge update on Disney and Star Wars and what the future of that holds. Because, I mean, gosh, Kenny, when was the last movie that came out for Star Wars? It's only been Disney Plus properties since 2020. And then I think the last movie was 2019, was it?
Was that Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah, Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. Was it 19? I thought it was.
I
think it was.
It might have been 19. It was the same year. Did it come out the same year as Avengers: Infinity War or Endgame?
Both 19. Yep.
Okay, both 19. Damn, 19 was a
big year for Disney. Wow. Yeah.
And as you can see, I mean, it's been, 2024? It's been 5 years. Gosh, I don't think right now the next movie that's planned to come out is until next year, and it's Mandalorian and Grogu. But there was a huge article that came out, essentially very similar to the article that came out about a year ago, kind of going to the background of the state of the MCU. 2 huge Disney properties, right? You got MCU, billion-dollar property, and then you got Disney, which has been spanning since the 70s, and Disney took over back in 2012, I think maybe is when they bought them.
It was after Iron Man 2, which was 2011. So
2011, okay.
That makes sense. It was either 2011 or 12.
Yeah, one of the two.
I mean, I'm sure it was happening, before then, realistically.
Right. And I remember when it was bought out, I was excited. I remember when the first trailers came out, I'm like, oh, this gives a feeling of like old Star Wars, and seeing a new characters was cool. But then by the end of it, as we all kind of agreed, I mean, what did you think of the third movie? Or what did you think of the trilogy that just came out from Disney?
So we're talking Star Wars.
Star Wars, yes.
7, 8, 9. I really liked 7. Which is why I'm happy for like the addition that Rey is kind of like leading the next few movies, because I really like her. I think she did a really good job. I like John Boyega's character. I like Oscar Isaac's character. I really like them all in 7 a lot, but then 8 and 9 less so.
Yeah, I think
I liked them. I didn't hate them as much as like I'm not a hater like so much.
Same. I'm not a hater either.
It's like I enjoyed it. The visual effects were nice. It was light. It was fun. Just the story-wise, 7 and 8 or 8 and 9 were not the best, but 7 was really good. 7 felt, except the thing that I felt like what made 7 so good, it was kind of a copy paste of A New Hope, not A New Hope. No, it is A New Hope. It is A New Hope. Yeah, it's literally the same premise. Like,
it's the poster I got right here. That's A New Hope, right?
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's
New Hope.
I forgot Return of the Jedi is 6. I don't know why I knew Empire Strikes Back is 5.
Yep,
it's getting them mixed up.
I mean, dude. Here's the thing. I actually liked 8 a lot. I like Ryan Johnson.
I know.
I like the visuals behind it. I love that red planet, man, and the battling on the red
cool.
the white planet with the red sand, or red light sand. The salt. That's right.
The fight between Kylo Ren and those royal guards, that was sick.
Visually, it was a very visually pleasing, kind of an artistic Star Wars movie, or maybe kind of like the most A24 you could maybe say, or something like that, where they took some. They actually came in and just didn't want to create just an action flick. There was a little bit more visual behind it, so I liked it. I mean, it got Ryan Johnson's job with Knives Out, and now he's becoming a huge director. No matter what,
he's still getting his Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah, that's the thing. I haven't even read. So I sent you that picture earlier today. The big thing here's the big thing that came into that article, man, was that, and I'm reading through this, and I'll show the screen here quick, but really what it is, it starts off with this. It's the Hollywood Reporter. I don't know if you know what the Hollywood Reporter is, but essentially it's like the number one reporting for movie news. If they report it, it's true usually. Very rare is it not come out. I mean, this it really starts with this, is that forget the Death Star, the most coveted weapon in Star Wars' movie arsenal is the character of Rey Skywalker, right? So since November 7th revealed that Simon Kinberg had signed on to develop and write, produce a new Star. Here, I'll actually share this dang screen right here for all of us to read it quick. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's just saying essentially, Simon Kinberg has signed on to develop and write to produce a new Star Wars trilogy for Lucasfilm and Disney. So we got a writer. I don't think we have a director yet. Whereas the original one, we start off with J.J. Abrams on the last trilogy, and by the end of it, I think it ended with J.J. Abrams. But it was a conundrum of different directors and whatnot.
Did he direct the last one?
What's up?
Did he direct the last one? I forgot.
I think he did.
Oh.
Or he executive produced. He
produced all of them. Yeah, he produced 7, 8, and 9 since he directed the first one.
Yeah, I'm not. I thought
he did direct it. He did
direct it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he was forced to at that point.
I think he was forced to as well. Yeah. That's like kind of the drama. Yeah. Exactly. Let's read back here. Okay. Yeah, and then so we got things like, tying the legacy of Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, and storylines first laid out by George Lucas in 1977. The reason for the debate is that the New Hope for trilogy would feature Rey in some sort of fashion. Some fans have expressed criticism that Lucasfilm would return to the well to make episodes, as they're called, beyond the 9 movies. So, first true movies, we're probably not going to be having a Luke Skywalker. We're not going to be having a Han Solo. We're not going to be having, those classic characters. We may have maybe a Baby Yoda. Who knows? We haven't seen them yet since The Mandalorian, of course, but maybe they bring him back in. Chewie maybe will be back. R2-D2. I think
the droids are a safe bet. They've officially been in both trilogies.
Right. You can assume you can bring them back.
Yeah.
Exactly. But the ones no Leia. Did Leia pass away between first or was it second and third? No, it was first and second. Of the new 7 and 8.
Of the new ones. Yeah. She passed. Oh wait, when she actually died?
When she died, yeah. I think and then they almost digitally brought her back.
Because then she actually died in 7 or 8.
Right. 8. Yep. They're all successful, right? Some fans have expressed criticism that Lucasfilm would return to the well to make episodes, like it says here. Every movie I think made $1 billion, except I think the last one grossed the least of the billions, I guess you could say. So it truly was a success for Disney, because they had never had a trilogy that made $1 billion. I don't think the original George episodes 1, 2, and 3 did not make $1 billion each. Or I don't know how much they made total, but I know they didn't. But when it comes to let's say Rotten Tomatoes score, not necessarily the highest. Yeah. If not, some would say a little disappointing. I don't know. Depending on who you ask, a lot of people don't necessarily like Star Wars as much as they do, especially with movies like Dune coming out. Right? Dune has almost set this new precedent for watching sci-fi thrillers out there.
Kind of has, yeah. I'm excited for that new TV show. I don't want to pivot, but
excited for it.
It's essentially, I saw someone did a set of comparison. They were like, this is essentially like Dune. It's Dune, Game of Thrones. I was so pumped because I'm sidetracking now. The thing that I like least about Dune, to be completely honest, is
Yeah.
the planet Arrakis. I want to know about the politics and like all the different families and all that stuff. I don't care about the sand. I don't care about, I know the spice, whatever.
Well, it's like Game of Thrones.
So
You're watching Game of Thrones not only for the world, but you're watching truly for the Game of Thrones.
Exactly, yeah. So I want to know about all the other stuff, and the new show looks like it's doing that. So I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to watch that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, really, what all this here dude is saying is this. Looks like Rey's gonna be the future. It's looking like she's gonna be kind of like the Obi-Wan Kenobi of the future of Star Wars. I don't know if it goes into the TV show necessarily very much.
I don't think
but it looks like we're getting more Daisy Ridley, which is fine. But it's something that's kind of weird to think about, Kenny, is that the fans of Daisy Ridley are almost, let's say you're 5, 6, 7, 8, 5 to 10 years old watching Star Wars or from that first one. Didn't the first one come out in like 2014?
I think 14, yeah.
So think about it. It's been 10 years since that first one. 5-year-olds and 10-year-olds are now 15, 20 years old.
That's wild.
Right? It's a different type of audience you're trying to sell these movies to, right? So it makes sense that they're trying to keep somebody like Daisy Ridley around. I mean, really, when you go through this entire article, really what the article goes through is Lucasfilm is developing a new trilogy with Rey. The project debated is continuation of the Skywalker saga. So it's going to be kind of crazy seeing that Rey is going to be the only continuation from the original series, Rey-centered films. Lucasfilm is going to be facing challenges balancing nostalgia with new storytelling as past character arcs have pretty much largely concluded, like we just brought up. So it's going to be all brand new Star Wars almost essentially. And then parallel projects like those, like from like Taika Waititi, Sean Levy, are adding complexity to Star Wars' evolving cinematic ecosystem.
I did not know Sean Levy was getting a Star Wars movie. I knew Taika was, and I knew about Rian Johnson's, but I did not know Sean Levy was getting one. That was news.
Dude, that's what the problem with this generation of like Star Wars doesn't have a plan. Star Wars is like, okay, we saw this director create a movie. Let's say Sean Levy just created and had a lot of success with Daredevil and Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine. And I'd like to see them fight. But yeah, there was a lot of success, right? And because of that, Disney's like, hey, let's keep them in our ecosystem. How about this? You had a good movie. Let's hire you off for Star Wars, and you create the story. But we have to prove everything, of course. But we want to use you direct it, you write it, you do all this for us. And it doesn't have to be connected to anything. But you know what? We want you attached to it. And that's the problem with a lot of these directors. I mean, Rian Johnson, what's he been connected since the second one, which came out in 2016, let's say? Where's his trilogy at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
James Mangold was given a trilogy or given a green light for like almost like an Old Republic movie, but with the failure of the Indiana Jones films. I mean, is that still going to happen? And you know what I mean?
Same with the Game of Thrones directors, DB and David and DB. They were supposed to have a trilogy, and they got taken from them. And so it's the exact same thing. Taika Waititi was right after Thor came out, and then I guess they just want to keep him around. Not that I'm obviously going to watch it because Taika's my guy.
Taika Waititi's an interesting.
But yeah, they're throwing their IP onto any director. That's just
without any story, without any plan. How's this correlated? How's this connected? Really, the only plan we got that is supposed to be set in stone, even though we've had 3 different directors, 3 different types of writers. Is this Rey trilogy, and then the final conclusion to all these Disney Plus movies that Jon Favreau has created, which we like. I mean, we like those shows, don't you?
Yeah, love them. I love all of them. Super pumped for the second season of Andor, even though that doesn't necessarily connect. No, that's pre.
Oh yeah, that one.
I'm just saying that was its own thing. I'm excited. Super pumped for that. But
yeah, it's gonna be a good year coming up with Andor, and hopefully Skeleton Crew is a decent show, considering we know it's gonna be like kind of a kid show.
I know. I think I've said before on the podcast. I hope I'm wrong, because I want it to end up kind of being like Stranger Things-esque, where it's a kids. Yeah. The cast is kids, but it's not a kid show by any means. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm like, I really don't care for Skeleton Crew right now.
Yeah.
Because the trailer, any sneak peeks haven't done it for me yet. But I'm hoping I will be wrong, because Acolyte proved me wrong too. I'm an Acolyte defender. I don't know.
Are you an Acolyte defender?
I am. Yeah, I'm a Manny Jacinto defender.
I love Manny Jacinto. So let's get back into that. I want to actually kind of ask you about that because did we talk about that?
I don't think we've spoken about Accolade. I don't.
Oh, did we not? Okay. No. Yeah. Another thing they're talking about here is just like, okay, bring it back. Kathleen Kennedy. So she's the head of Lucasfilm. She's been having kind of a lot of blunders, but they're making a fuck ton of money, right? They made $4 billion, or they've made billions of dollars already. They brought in people and killed them, like Luke, Leia, Vader, Obi-Wan, Yoda, Han, I guess, as well as Kylo Ren now is no longer. Maybe he could be a Force ghost. Who knows? But, because you never know.
I hope they don't overplay that, though. They were starting to overplay that a bit in episode 9.
100% I agree with you, dude. Yeah. They've talked about this. Donald Glover's got a Lando idea movie. So I don't know if you saw the. Did you see that one? It was like a Han Solo movie.
Yeah, it was just Solo. Yeah, I liked it. I didn't hate it. The visual effects in it were amazing.
Yeah.
But it was just also whatever.
A Rogue Squadron, which I think was by the director of Wonder Woman. She was going to be doing that.
Wonder Woman 1 or 2?
1.
Oh, good.
1. Okay. Yeah, that lady.
Oh, sorry. Wait. Didn't Patty
Actually, I think she did both.
No, didn't Patty? Oh, Patty Jenkins.
Yeah, Patty Jenkins.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't. My bad. I was reading the wrong one.
Oh, you're good, dude.
Yeah.
But either way, I mean, like I said, the article's like this. So when you read this article, when you hear all this stuff, when you've heard probably the drama, you've probably read it online. I mean, you're a fan of Star Wars. What is the future of Star Wars with all this? How do you feel about Disney's handling of this Star Wars franchise? How about that? And maybe are you excited for the future? Are you looking? Do you have a word of caution with, like, let's say Kathleen Kennedy being in place still? Do you like the idea of Rey going forward? Just give me your background and give me some insight to what we're kind of discussing here in this article.
For sure. I'm excited for it.
So no matter what, you're still, you're like, all right, I still believe in it.
I love the content, but I think I said this before in the podcast that I want them to just be done with the Skywalker stuff. That saga is done, and I think with this new Rey trilogy, they are finally going to do that. And it kind of seems like,
well, I mean, she still is technically a Skywalker.
She's still a Skywalker, but just like
one thing that really pissed me off at the end of that movie. I did not want her to be a Skywalker.
No, it's really not. It was dumb. It was dumb. It was really cheesy, but
it was a cheese fest.
I hope that doesn't have any real ramifications. Not the right word. I just hope that doesn't really matter in the end or in the next movies. But like, it really seems like Rey was before 7, 8, and 9 came out. When 7 was first announced, and we knew Daisy Ridley was playing her, or we didn't know at the time, but just blah blah blah. It seems like they wanted to start to do the new thing at that time with episode 7.
For sure.
But then they started catering to all the fans, and they were like, okay, we can't make it a new thing. This has to be.
What's worse than MCU fans?
Star Wars. Those are the worst. Absolutely. Actually,
yeah, I'd say Star Wars is definitely
definitely worse than MCU. Yeah. And so it seems like that's what my thing, at least, is that this is what they wanted to do with starting episode 7, but just get from feedback from everyone in the toxic fan base. They're like, okay, we have to make it old Star Wars. And then that's why there were so many issues with the different movies and not, lining up with each other and just being fan service for the whole movies. And so now that they concluded the Skywalker saga officially, I think now they're saying, okay, let's essentially kind of try again with Daisy, because nobody didn't like Daisy. I don't think. I think everyone liked Rey.
No, I liked her.
Yeah, I know a lot of people didn't like some characters, whether it's
maybe some of the writing, maybe
the writing was always
story
bad.
Ended was what I disliked, but I didn't dislike her. I thought she was a great
never did. Exactly, and I think they know that, and so that's why they're like, okay, I think they're like, we can keep going with this, or okay, try again with it. I'm excited for it. As far as how I think Disney handled it, I just said I don't think they handled it well with 7, 8, and 9, but all of the Disney Plus stuff has been A+. That the post episode 4 universe, not universe, like with Mandalorian, Ahsoka, all those things, like that stuff is all top tier. And so I'm really, really excited for Dave Filoni's movie. I was even getting confused because I had forgotten that the Mandalorian and Grogu movie is actually in place of season 4 or 5, whatever season it is. So, but then I was also thinking
we gotta take this success, and bring it to the bank.
But that's also like worse, because realistically, I would rather have 8 hours of Star Wars content rather than a 3-hour movie, you know.
And some would say a 3-hour movie, could be tough for people to sit in. I mean, I feel like to justify a season 4 as being a movie, it'd have to be 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the best part about it, is that you can flesh out the characters,
Yeah. So then I was getting confused. I forgot that was that movie. I thought that was going to be Dave Filoni's like capping movie, but no, that's separate. So I'm glad that's separate, because Ahsoka season 2 is still going to come out, and whatever other shows that, Book of Boba Fett, that's still in the 2. I hope that gets another season, even though the first was just okay.
The best episode was the Mandalorian episode.
It was. But I know people really complained because like the emotional, like just the emotional significance of the end of season 2 when Luke took Grogu. And then all of a sudden
what an all-time high.
So good. But then season 3 of Mandalorian, episode 1, there's no like they're back together again, because you have to watch Book of Boba Fett. Not obviously I did, and most fans probably did, but there's probably still a lot of people that didn't. So it was just like, what happened? Why are they all of a sudden back together again? And also, what's this new ship? That was the coolest part of that episode, was his new ship.
Do you feel like, how about this, bringing it maybe back to Mandalorian and Grogu? Do you feel like you have to bring Grogu back into this new trilogy? I mean, I feel like that's their number one marketing asset right now. Is Grogu.
Yeah, he is. He's the best marketing asset that isn't a droid.
Yeah, right.
All the droids are easy to sell, but yeah, definitely, I think he'll be back. I think so too, because we know that his species lives for hundreds of years.
Yeah, so, and maybe we get a story about Grogu, what he was doing in between these years. Maybe he was training. I guess we'll have to see at the end of Mandalorian Grogu.
Maybe he and Rey are the ones starting the new Jedi Order.
So that was my next question, dude. Was that what direction does Rey's character take in these movies? I clearly want her to be like a Han Solo. Truthfully, I don't even want her to be the main character.
Yeah.
I want, maybe it can revolve around her, kind of like how those other ones revolved around Luke a little bit. The original trilogy, the 1 through 3 revolved around Anakin, or the idea of like the chosen one more, I guess, in a way. I don't know if I want these 3 movies to be focused on Rey. She's going to add such a dynamic and powerfulness that create new characters, have her be like maybe the base layer for that. Same with Grogu. But then we get, I mean, do we want, I guess you already said it, get away from the Skywalker trilogy, right? Or sorry, the Skywalker saga. What do we move on to? New Jedi? That's what I've heard rumors, that they're going to be a new Jedi, new reign of Jedi, or new Jedi into the order. I mean, what would you like to see?
I've said this before in the podcast too, and what I was really looking forward to, which is also the reason I like The Acolyte, is because I want the Star Wars episode.
What did you like about The Acolyte?
So
bring that into this,
Before I get into that, just quickly, Star Wars episode 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, and 3 were about the Jedi and Sith, but at the same time, they were more about like the galactic war than we really don't know that much about like the origin of the Jedi and Sith, and that's why I was excited about The Acolyte. Like, there's books and stuff
that's what I thought The Acolyte was going to be more of.
Yeah, I thought there would be too, but it still ended up not. But like, I really just want to see more about what is the Jedi, what are the Jedi, like, and so if Rey is going to be building like a new Jedi, not temple, but just Jedi Order, that's what I want it to be about. And if it's not going to follow Rey, she'll be like the leader person. She'll be like Obi-Wan. If there's a new character like Anakin, Rey will be the Obi-Wan of that. So she's not the main character, but she is a main character. So that's what I want to see. I want to see like, what is the significance of like kyber crystals and lightsabers, specifically even lightsabers to Jedi? We don't even know why Jedi use lightsabers. Like, I don't think that they've explained that in any.
They've explained it in games and books and things like that.
I didn't even play a Jedi Survivor. Oh, I forgot that's on my list.
That's right. That needs to be on your list.
But that's what I want to watch. So I was hoping for that in Acolyte, and we touched on it a little bit in Acolyte, but like, and seeing like the Order at its peak in the High Republic in the Acolyte, that was really interesting to me. And I'm like, how did they fall from there into like what the Jedi Order was in the prequel movies, and then we know what happened, why there were none in the sequel or the original trilogy. But like, that's the information that I want to see, and I think that's fun. I think, outside of books and games, people don't know that, and so that's an area that people should have some general interest in.
Mm-hmm. Kenny, do you think that the villain should be truly an evil person and we don't get a redemption story finally for the main villain?
Hopefully, it
That's
would
what I
be.
want. I
Yeah,
want there to be a villain
yeah.
that really is
Oh,
just
just
an
a real
evil
villain.
son of a bitch that
Yeah.
you know what, if carries, maybe they're the beginning part of carrying on for the next 6 movies and that it all comes back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Like, and even kind of like the Acolyte, Manny Jacinto's character, he was just evil.
So give me, yeah, that's one thing I liked about it. Give me, why did you like Jacinto?
I just thought he played the character really well. He was so mysterious. He was really cool. He was so
I've
like
seen
kind of
too
just
many fan
human.
casts of him. They kind of ruined it for me.
Yeah, I just
He's
liked
just like
how.
shirtless, like in like a bunch of episodes,
Yeah.
or like in an
Oh,
episode or
there's so
something.
much this thirst traps on the Manny Jacinto.
Yeah.
Can you blame him though?
Yeah, right. I mean,
He's
yeah, I
hot.
can't blame him.
Yeah, but why did I like him? I just thought he was an interesting character. Like compared to like Kylo Ren, he just from the first few minutes of his screen time. I love Adam Driver, but like his character is just a little bitch. Like he's just wanting to like live up to Vader's legacy, but like for why? Like why does he care? Like as the stories went on, we like learned how he actually turned Sith, so like it gets a little bit better. But the damage was done at that point, and then shirtless Kylo was just a joke too. So, but that's what I liked about the Acolyte was Manny Jacinto's character and like the way he turned Osha. Like he didn't force her to do anything. He just like got her to ask the right questions. And so was Osha and May. Yeah, May was bad just to be bad, but she was bad for the sake of vengeance. But Osha turning bad, that was like a big deal. And it was also cool because that was like what he wanted the whole time. He wanted to not be alone. And he essentially wanted a Padawan. And
okay, so there's some layers, some depth to him. Bring it back. Okay, so that's a good villain there. I'm thinking about this. How do you balance nostalgia with innovation? Right? One thing I think the last ones we just said, kind of a copy and paste of the original trilogy, right? How do you do things like, I mean, can Star Wars maintain, appeal by revisiting legacy characters? Do you have to bring them in? I mean, it feels like you have to do fresh storytelling to expand this universe. You have to, you can't just keep going back to Tatooine, if you ask me.
Hey, it's working for the Dave Filoni stuff.
Oh yeah, you're right. True. What do you think? I mean, how do you balance? I mean, because one of the articles that came out recently was somebody saying Star Wars is built on nostalgia and is running out a little bit, and that's been maybe some of their problems.
Yeah, I think that it's important for those parts to be touched on, but at the same time, when they did it, that's they were doing that just to sell to the old fans.
Right.
And it didn't work because then the old fans all complained that they use the nostalgia wrong.
Yes. And,
so,
you're just telling me that what's his name was alive the entire time. We just all were like, or he was a robot, I guess. But that last one, it was just like so much shit just came out of left field. It felt so forced, not cohesive at all.
Yeah, it was bad. So like, I think it's important, but you can. I think the like the Dave Filoni stuff does a good job of touching on nostalgia. They go to Tatooine, but like just using like droids that people are familiar with and locations. They don't actually have characters. They don't have that many characters that show up from the past. I think Bail Organa showed up. I believe he showed up, but like it's just not that. It's not that deep. We don't need. We're not going to need. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if like Finn and Poe show up, but like original.
Good point.
They will, but there's not going to be any more.
I would agree that's something. So that's a good question, dude. That's a good question. We have people like Watiti. We have people like Ryan Johnson. We have people like oh God, what's his name? I just said Adam Levy. Or Sean Levy. What when they do separate stories? I'm thinking about it like how does Lucasfilm or how are these Star Wars films do with overlapping timelines? I feel like now if you're making these 3 new movies, you have to stick to stories inside of this world. So like if there's going to be separate movies, I don't want to see another Rogue One type of thing in modern day 2025, 2026 movie theaters. You know what I mean? I want to maybe a side story for Poe, a side story for for Finn. Yeah, man, and that'd be good. That's how you bring in maybe like a Waititi or a Sean Levy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think those would be good. But at the same time, I also think like Star Wars, the universe is so big, and we always are looking at we're always on Tatooine. We're always on the same spot. So like, just do. What was the show that
expand the
came
universe
out?
with them? Expand the universe with those people.
What was the like anime that came out that was on Disney Plus?
Dude, oh my god, I forgot.
What's it called?
I heard it was good.
Did you? I watched the first season of it. I didn't watch the second. Where every episode is just a different. I don't. It's not canon necessarily,
but it's good stories.
Star Wars. Yeah, I don't know, but they are, because it's just like, this whole world is not the world. The universe
Visions.
is so
Star
big.
Wars visions.
Visions. Yeah. Like, do that. No one would be. I don't think anyone would complain about that. Like, yeah, if they really are just their own stories,
it is a risk because you're not appealing to the broad masses. But I think Star Wars, the name Star Wars itself, if you're putting it in theaters, it brings people. I mean, Rogue One was not necessarily there's a love letter to the original trilogy, but it wasn't, it was this off-shot movie.
Yeah, and it did okay, but then now Andor following it, people are obsessed
exponentially.
With it. And so Andor coming out made Rogue One so much better.
Yes.
I think at the time Rogue One was just fine, but now like people love Cassian Andor. And not Pedro Pascal. It's what's his name? Diego Luna. Like he's awesome. He plays that character so well.
Oh, he's amazing. Dude, do you think? Bring it back to just Disney, because I'm a little annoyed with Disney right now and MCU, but Star Wars doesn't have as much. I guess it does if you read the books, but this future is kind of unwritten. Natasha Bedingfield, like like it's truly a new thing. I mean, there are some stories like in the books, Luke Skywalker's son essentially became like the next Darth Vader. There's twins, and one became good, one became bad.
Did that happen really?
In the books, yeah.
Oh wow! Because that's really cool. Isn't that the same It's the same idea as
Kylo.
No, not Kylo. The what's that old game? Knights of the Old Republic?
No, the Old Republic. Yes,
the Old Republic. Yeah,
the Old Republic.
Those twins.
Yes, dude. I was just watching that trailer this week to get kind of hyped up for this.
Yeah, dude, I love watching. Like, I didn't play that game. I just love watching those.
The story you watch, you're like, what the fuck, Disney? Like this is
you have so much content that you can pull from, and we'll make our own, and it's shit.
Yeah, man. Like, golly. So yeah, I'm just thinking of that. But I mean, so there is a lot of content you could use. Take some of it, take it and adapt it. That doesn't bother me. Take the good stuff, right?
They take some of the worst stuff.
Yeah.
They're like, it's funny what they decide.
Yeah, let's have Kylo Ren and Rey fall in love, and he just turns back. He killed his father. Don't forget, we're all gonna forget that. That was like the big thing in the first one, or the seventh one. And
then he had to go good. But then the big thing, I said it a little bit earlier, that they overplayed the Force Ghost situation.
Yeah.
We learned that
with that too.
Yeah, we learned in episode at the end of 3 that right when 3 ended that like Qui-Gon just was reaching out to Obi-Wan. Like Obi-Wan in episode 4 just learned how to become a Force Ghost. And even in like it was the Obi-Wan show. Yeah, the Obi-Wan show we saw Qui-Gon. That's when he was like, I'll teach you how to do this. Like becoming a Force Ghost should not be automatic when you die. It's a training thing. Like at the end of 9, they made Leia, Luke can be one, but like they made Kylo, Leia, everyone was a Force Ghost. It was overplayed for sure. If everyone can be a Force Ghost, then there would be millions of Force Ghosts.
Millions. How about this, Kenny? I think, and I'm reading this online from an article. Star Wars has struggled recently from female. These are the main reasons. This is what they think it will take for the future to be successful with Star Wars. There's been legacy pressure. The original trilogy set an exceptionally high standard. I mean, clearly, it changed the way people see movies. Not only sci-fi flicks or going to movies, but summer movies in general. It was one of the first summer movies of all time. Lack of unified vision. Unlike Marvel, Star Wars hasn't followed a clear, cohesive plan, leading to inconsistencies, right? We were just discussing that. Balancing old, but at the same time, you can also, there have been moments. Andor has added to the Rogue One legacy so much. Balancing old and new audiences. They're trying to appeal to both longtime fans and new viewers. It's difficult. Content saturation. Some people think maybe just because with all the stories coming out on Disney Plus, that could be a problem. But you know what? I think if they have a true, clear plan, that could be something that could be fixed. If maybe take some out. And character development challenges. Some fans feel new characters lack the depth and impact of earlier heroes, leading to debate over the franchise's direction and lasting appeal. So these are things that they feel they need to fix for this to be successful. I mean, I already asked you this kind of already, dude. But I mean, I think the things you need to focus on, or to be successful, you need to focus on a cohesive vision, develop a strong character we just brought up, take creative risks, man. I told you I liked that the eighth movie. I liked it. It was risky, man. Killing Luke Skywalker off. I mean, come on, and and also making. I just think I love the choices it took. I really do. I'm not thinking on the top of my head as well, but I just remember that was a big one for me. And that's why it's such a it divided the fan base truly. That's why
really
9 became such a terrible, not terrible, gosh, because I do like it, man.
But knowing what could have been, because I'm
Right.
sure you've seen the storyboards that leaked, the script that
Yes,
you saw the stuff that leaked. So yeah, I would agree that I didn't hate 8 the way other people did, but if they'd let Rian Johnson finish out what he was planning, then it would have then 8 wouldn't have been as bad as it was,
because he was also going to be bringing in the old lore. I read he was going to bring in a little bit of the old Republic and things like that's one of my things too, is the idea of take the risk, bring in and not only use the old lore but expand the lore, man.
Yeah, and so they were gonna take that risk, so they kind of dug themselves in the hole. That it wasn't. That's a bad metaphor, but they put themselves in this position with him, but then they were just because of fan backlash, because of the Rose character, because of all this stuff, then they were okay, never mind, we don't want to follow this anymore. But they Rian Johnson had set up all this stuff, only for them to basically ignore all of it come 9. So that's why with his whole trilogy, just give him the keys to the whole thing, let him do it all. He's not just coming in for one movie, he's doing the whole thing himself.
Yeah,
that will be good. That was why 7 and 8 were good, but 8 and 9, the in between was so messy.
So messy. So keep that cohesion, man. Expand the lore, I think, doing things like that. Be inventive, be risky. But at the end of the day, create a film that is critically a good flick. Create a film that I do have a prediction. Well, I had a prediction, gosh, for the 2020s this is in 2019. I had a prediction that Star Wars will have an Oscar-nominated film. And I just thought because, I thought, you know what? I don't know why I thought that. I thought that just Disney, it'd be...
Marvel barely did that.
I know, right? I just thought, have something.
Yeah.
That's a big... I think in the next 20 years, I'm going to give you... I'm going to say 20
years. Something. That's a long time.
Like a Logan in a way.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't have to be a Star Wars episode 12, but...
it would have to be groundbreaking the way Black Panther was groundbreaking.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Things like that, yeah. I mean, who are some directors you would think about, dude? I was Googling this. I mean, you look at it Taika Waititi, of course, but Jon Favreau, bring him maybe in if The Mandalorian's great. But,
I feel Jon Favreau, I don't know if he's even I don't know what he's directing these days. He's a producer on so much stuff because he's a producer on
Isn't
all
he
the
directing?
Star Wars
He's
stuff.
directing Mandalorian Grogu.
Isn't Dave Filoni directing it?
No, I think he's writing.
Wait, he's writing. Oh, is Jon Favreau actually directing it? Oh, wow.
I thought so. Yeah, because that's why I was it was he directed season 1, right?
He did. Yep. Yeah. I'm curious. Okay, it is Jon Favreau. Okay, good because he and Dave Filoni have been pioneering the entire that area of that timeline. They're fixing every plot hole that came out from the original and prequel and sequel trilogy. They're the ones that are explaining how Palpatine came back as a clone. It's because of them. Otherwise, no one would know.
Yeah, you're right. Kenny, who would you want? You have to have a big director, right? You can't just it was J.J. Abrams and then it was Rian Johnson and J.J. Who would you have? Who would you want to direct?
God, I don't even. Actually,
it's a tough question, right?
It's tough, but I know who would. Joseph Kosinski. I've talked about him before.
He's
the Top Gun Maverick director. But I didn't
Adam
even
McQuarrie. Adam McQuarrie.
wait. That wasn't Joseph Kosinski?
No.
Wait, he just did something. He did Top Gun.
Yeah. Kaczynski and then Adam McQuarrie did Mission Impossible.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I didn't watch Top Gun Maverick, but I just Joseph Kosinski, he directed Tron Legacy, which, as you know, is my favorite movie.
Oh, yes.
So
yeah. Hey, dude, they showed a little bit of it in
Brazil. Yeah.
Or Greece. Where was it? Brazil or where was it?
Brazil. So they showed some in Brazil, but they also showed some at another expo that was in America. So I saw it was the same footage essentially.
Yeah. Okay.
But I trust him because even though Tron Legacy story-wise wasn't that great, once it's unfortunate that even when a story is bad, the director gets all the blame, even though the director didn't necessarily write it. Even though he has like the final say on these things to a point. Not final say, he has say to a point, but it all comes down to the director. So like the Tron Legacy story wasn't that good, but I don't blame the director for it because the movie was visually amazing.
Oh god,
and, like,
dude! You turn
movie.
You put it on mute. It's a great movie.
Yeah, it's just all visual. Like it's so good, and so there's honestly a lot of what Star Wars is too is visual.
Yeah,
and with the sequel trilogy, they've made it so. The cinematography in the sequel trilogy was the best part of that whole trilogy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so he is someone that I think would kill it in a Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good choice, man. Yeah, I like that.
He's not as big.
I would agree with you on that.
Yeah, I hope he's big. I want him to be big.
Yeah, I agree, dude. And I also put down like maybe James Mangold. I don't hate the idea of him taking over. He did Logan in Ford v Ferrari, which I really liked.
Oh, he did Ford v Ferrari? Cool.
Yeah, great movie, man.
I'm trying to think of what directors do I like these days. I don't even know. I feel like I've been slipping. I don't know.
Hey, that's all right, dude. I mean, we're busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we spent 40 minutes on this, so I think we've done it. I think the future. I think we both want success, right?
Definitely.
We both want Star Wars to be back to being the what we believe it could be. All that we're critical because we believe it can be back to where it was when we were kids watching the original trilogy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're all excited to be back into it. Say what you want about the Rey. She was not a bad character. I'm excited to see what she has and see what the future is. It's gonna be exciting with the new blank slate. What's gonna be new Star Wars?
Yeah, I want to show you really quickly. I told you right before we started. This is my brother's lightsaber collection. These are all the.
Oh, that's insane.
These are all the Elite FX ones.
That is absurd.
They are, look at that. We got the dark saber. This is wait, what am I pointing?
Dude, I like that yellow. I like the gold. That's one thing I want them to bring.
That's Rey's. That's Rey's.
Is it?
Yeah, the gold one.
Blanked out on it.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of the old. I'm thinking of the old Republic movies.
Yeah.
Those because that's what they were using too. So
we got Darksaber, we got Rey, we got Kylo, Anakin, Luke, someone I don't know. Oh, actually, that's Leia. That's Leia's. Rey. Some other one, the Darksaber. He got the custom one from Star Wars Galaxy. What is it called at Disneyland?
Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge. I was gonna say Adventure. I was almost there. Yeah.
Okay.
He's crazy. He's crazy.
Tell me. So I'm reading the status of the upcoming. This is what I sent you today.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying that they're separate. The Simon Kinberg Star Wars trilogy is separate from the New Jedi Order. I don't think that's true. I think that because I'm pretty sure the New Jedi Order was going to be starring Daisy Ridley. I think they're just combining that. Mandalorian Grogu, James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi, which is set 25,000 years before the Skywalker saga. Andor writer is looking to co-write the script, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Lando, like we just brought up, Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie. Taika Waititi's movie, Sean Levy's movie, like we said, Rogue Squadron, and then Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy. Mm-hmm. So a lot of Star Wars. Hopefully,
a lot of stuff. I'm most excited for Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie.
Oh yeah,
I love when things connect, and with all of Dave Filoni's, everything that Dave Filoni has touched will end with this. And I've loved everything, mostly everything. I didn't watch all of Rebels. I watched what I needed to watch of Rebels.
Yeah,
but I love like a good universe, and Dave Filoni, his part of Star Wars has been so good. So seeing how it's going to end is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I agree, man. Let's switch it, dude. Let's bring it to DC. I sent you this article earlier. I haven't asked you, man. what do you think so far of everything? Have you heard anything about the new Superman, the new projects coming out? Creature Commandos comes out in 3 weeks. We're finally here.
Yeah.
The DCU is starting in
Finally,
3
yeah.
weeks, man. What do you think?
I'm excited. I saw
Same. I'm very excited.
I saw what James tweeted or post. He posts on he posts on Threads a lot. He said
He's a
that
thread guy.
what will be canon. A lot of there will be things that are taken from the DCEU, prior, but they're not everything is. If they mention it, then that means it's canon, which is what any other movie or show or any type of that's just
and I don't
normal.
think the general audience is going to complain.
Yeah, so I hope not, because like that's why Peacemaker season 1 essentially it's a different universe, but I think it's going to be canon. It's just because it's a different universe doesn't mean that the same things didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I love James Gunn, and I trust in him and everything. I actually just saw a thing that said Supergirl is actually going to be in Superman 2, which maybe is not a surprise. Maybe it's obvious, but
only a year later.
Yeah,
I think they're releasing it.
Yeah, because it's coming out a year later, so maybe it makes sense for her at least to be established in Superman.
Okay, I like that. I like that idea. I think I've heard this in almost every movie. This is rumors that almost every movie is going to have multiple superheroes.
They should, I think so, because at this point,
it's going to be a universe like the comics.
Yeah, and it's one Superman, so it's also an established superhero universe. Like there are already the Justice Society.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Like these characters are already existing. So I hope so, because it makes it more realistic when there's just the one super person isn't the only one there. That's what makes, just like with I'm saying about Dave Filoni's, like I'm having all these connected things. What makes DC so fun is that there's so many characters. So why not use them?
Yeah, dude. I mean, and on paper, when I remember seeing that Man of Steel trailer years ago, and I thought, oh, we're gonna get a Dark Knight Superman movie. That's gonna be sick. And then it wasn't necessarily, it didn't necessarily become good. And then because I liked it, I liked Man of Steel, but critically, it was anything like the Christopher Nolan trilogy. And then they're also like, well, we got to really pivot and essentially make this Justice League thing, try to fix it, yada yada. So
because Marvel was doing so well then, so DC was like, make it Marvel, make it Marvel, make it. And it was the executives and all this stuff. So now that there's no more executives, it's literally James said he and Peter are the
Peter Safran and James Gunn.
They're the heads of the company. Like there's no other executives that can say no, make it funnier or whatever. So at the end of the day, it's on them whether good or bad, but it will be good.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm excited. Did you see the news on the Green Lantern series?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it was cast officially. Yep.
What do you think?
Hal Jordan is my Green Lantern. I've always loved him.
Oh, Hal Jordan's been mine too.
Yeah, so knowing, and specifically Nathan.
No, sorry. John Stewart is my Green Lantern.
Yeah, is he from the original
the
Justice
TV
League.
show?
Yeah.
I
obviously loved that show, but I loved Nathan Fillion's voice of Green Lantern. He's one of my favorite ones. So
wait, was he? Was Nathan?
He voiced Green Lantern in multiple different DC.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, actually, let me. Nathan Fillion. He voiced him. Oh, I forgot. He's playing Guy Gardner too.
He's playing Guy Gardner. Yeah.
That's so funny. It's because James and Nathan are friends. That's funny.
He was in Galaxy. Guardians Galaxy 3.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, he was. He was in 2 too. No, he was in 1. So do you remember in Guardians 1 when Groot and Rocket and Peter are in the jail and that big alien comes up and Groot puts his fingers in the alien's nose?
Oh,
he holds him up. That's Nathan Fillion.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, that's Nathan. So I think Nathan was in all 3 movies, all 3 Guardians movies. And so that's what people complain. But it's not a big deal. Get over it. Anyways, I'm excited for Green Lantern. I think a buddy cop series is exactly what Green Lantern needs.
Well,
they're cops.
It's more of a true detective cop.
Yeah.
Buddy cop gives me comedy.
Sure. That's better. But it being like that's not a common storyline of it being like 2 people. All the super people that's like, oh, I'm alone, I need to figure it out myself. But having a whole core of people, that's what they are. They're an organization. So I'm excited for that.
What do you think of Aaron Pierre becoming he's the new John Stewart?
I wasn't familiar with him.
So he was in a Netflix movie recently.
Uh,
He's a true up-and-coming guy. He was originally in the Blade movie. Then Blade's redone everything 20 different times. So now he's no longer in the Blade movie. So they're like, let's snatch him. He is one of the top African-American black actors today, coming up. So he's a young guy too. I think he might have been in Little Mermaid as well. But what I'm trying to say is that and you watched the movie on Netflix. I can't think of what it's called right now, but he was damn good in it. He was the best part. He has when he's on the screen, he has a presence that commands, your attention. So he's good, dude. I like him a lot. I think he's going to be a great guy you have for 20 years.
Yeah.
You have his 15, 20 years as our guy.
I just saw the picture of him.
The casting is elite, dude.
Yeah.
I love the casting for everything.
So what I was going to say when I was saying Hal Jordan is my Green Lantern is that having an older Hal will be an interesting take for me. I'm not going to not like it. And I think, what's his name? Kyle, whoever's acting.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now.
I've seen him. We've all seen him in so many things. I think he's so funny. He's a good guy. He's a good actor. I think he'll play the part really well. But yeah, it's interesting because I think lore-wise, Jon Stewart was before Hal Jordan. So them kind of switching it up this time, which do whatever you want. It's fine. You don't need to stick with these things. So I think it'll be a good take, and I'm excited to watch it. I love the Green Lanterns. I love all the lanterns. That side of DC is really fun for me because I loved. I didn't read. I didn't actually read any comics. I just like this stuff.
I didn't really read them either.
Yeah, no. But like knowing all the different color lanterns and like how every person in DC essentially has had a ring at some point. Like they've all been different color lanterns. It's so cool. It's just really cool to see. So I wonder how. That's such a fun part of DC with the spectrum, like all those different colors. I hope they have a big role in the DCU.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know enough about and one thing James Gunn is good at is bringing D-list characters and making them successful. Clearly, Peacemaker, Guardians of the Galaxy. Apparently, these movies are gonna have a lot of that. A lot of those people with story. It's gonna be something where it's not. It's gonna be. It's gonna be a lot maybe to take in, but I think he does a good job. He's going to do a good job of making us understand this new world we're in.
Did you watch any of the like Cartoon Network DC shows?
That's
like
the one I watched.
Young Justice. Yeah, Young Justice. Wait, was Justice
League?
There
was Justice League from like early 2000s, and then there was the Young Justice League. You're right.
No, that's on WB Kids.
Oh, what's the one that was like? What was it when they were teenagers?
Teen
the
Titans.
Cartoon Network one. Teen Titans.
Teen Titans, yeah.
Teen Titans,
so
yeah,
I think I was going to say Cartoon Network, even though that's a little earlier, but like so a little bit later, like when we were in high school, is when Young Justice was out. There was a Green Lantern, the animated series was on Cartoon Network.
Was it okay?
Those two are some of my favorite DC.
Good story.
Yeah, so good. The Green Lantern show, it got like 3 seasons maybe, and that show is really what touched on every other color lantern. Like, so me not reading the comics, that's how I was introduced to so many of them. I'm like, wow, these are actually so cool. Yeah. And Young Justice was a show that did so well, but then Cartoon Network canceled it. But then, was it Netflix? Some other streaming platform, they brought the show back.
Was it Amazon?
It wasn't Amazon.
Was it Amazon? So it was Netflix? Okay.
It was, but wait, did it actually not officially come back until Max came out? I don't know. One of the streaming platforms like brought that show back. Direct to streaming, and Young Justice was so good. I actually ended up not finishing it, but that's because I was in college and just got busy. But those two shows, to me, are what like really is DC is. Like those shows used every character possible. Oh, also, the Batman, the Brave and the Bold, if you know that one. So that Batman show.
New one.
No, it was the animation that was on.
The animation from back in the 90s. I want to
rewatch. Not 90s.
Which
this
one?
Was Batman, the Brave and the Bold.
What the fuck?
Yeah, look it up. It's called the Brave.
Because I want to watch I want to watch the '90s one.
The 90s one is
2008 to 2011. Okay.
Yeah, this is then. I don't know. I remember what was that called?
This is the one that used to be on. The one I'm talking about is the one that's from Batman the animated
series. Yeah, that was when Mark Hamill voiced the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
That was when he started voicing the Joker. And that was Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. Yeah.
Conroy, yup.
God, I was Kevin O'Leary.
And then I think the new Batman show on Amazon is not Kevin. I think it's a new guy. Or either that was his last one. I forget.
Is there a new Batman show on Amazon?
Yeah. On Amazon. It's got great reviews, bro.
Wow.
If you have a fix for it, it's called
Oh, the Cape Crusader.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it premiered August 1st, 2024.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Check it. Have you seen it? Have you heard of it? Checked it out?
No, actually, yes, because I've seen images from this because I didn't know this was a series. I thought it was a movie. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, it's a TV series. I haven't checked it out yet because I'm so behind on my backlog.
Yeah, because they went back to like the old style. It's modern animation, but it's the designs are the old designs, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, all that to say is that's my favorite era of DC media, and I hope James Gunn does stuff similar to that.
What do you think of Peacemaker, man? Announcement. I know you liked it, but announcement it was just made that it's going to come out a month after Superman. So it seems like we're going to be getting consistent.
Yeah.
DCU going forward. They're going to really be building this universe out. What do you think?
I'm excited. Peacemaker was so good. John Cena is such a good actor. He's
such a great actor.
So good. So good. He and Dave Bautista really just
better than The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock is the bottom of the barrel for the wrestlers turned actors. I don't even know who's better, John Cena or Dave.
I think Dave, you could probably get a better, but John Cena hasn't had the opportunity.
No, he hasn't. Dave's range, because even like it being in Dune, like that was. I'm so happy for him that he.
Keep going. So I'm gonna let my dog out quick.
Yeah,
she keeps smelling. But yeah, so you're excited for Peacemaker.
I'm excited. I just like they're gonna. James, just everything he touches is gold, and it's gonna be good. And
I mean, I still have a lot of scenes that I rewatch from Peacemaker season 1, especially when his friend, what's his name? I can't think of it. Vigilante, Freddie something. Yeah. When he's in the prison with all the Ku Klux Klan members and he's just shitting on I love it. I just think the show is so much. It's surface level, kind of a goofy superhero.
Yeah, but it was deep.
The most depth out of any of them.
Yeah, it really was. And like for John Cena to be that guy who who is fighting racism, fighting sexism. Like this show was it touched on a lot of modern points.
Because he was such a piece of shit in
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. God, that one movie. I would need to rewatch
I need to rewatch that one too.
So good. I was thinking about it because it was back home over Labor Day, and in my parents' theater we have that poster of the Suicide Squad. So
nice.
Because I put that up there over the summer of 20 whatever.
Nice. Yeah, 2021.
It came out 21. Yeah. So then I put it up Christmas of 21.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it myself. I need to rewatch it. Well, man, hey, sorry to rush out. It's 7:00, so I got to head out.
We hit the hour. We said it'd be under an hour.
Red One. Yeah, I'm finally seeing Red One. I'm excited to see The Rock really put his range into this. And then the future. I feel like we're watching the demise of Chris Evans' career. Hasn't had a good movie since. He hasn't had a good character or anything. Yeah. It almost is showing that he has to come back as Captain America.
Mm-hmm. So. He's gonna run out of money, and he's like, "Okay, I gotta come back."
Yeah.
He will. Secret Wars. There's no question he's coming. Even if it's for 1 second,
sure.
He will come back.
He will come back. I don't even think it's for a second. I think he's gonna be a big character in it.
Yeah, he should.
Yeah, he should. Yeah. So, but hey, man, Kenny, thanks for joining us, dude. We appreciate always coming with your knowledge, man. I think we had a great episode here today. I think anytime I talk Star Wars with you, it's just anything DC. I wish we got to get more. We got to get deeper into that. But once we get more of the DCU, I'm sure we'll have more to talk about.
I'm excited.
Please come on, keep coming forward, dude, with these episodes, dude. We appreciate it. Everyone, follow and subscribe to us on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts, YouTube. We are growing. We're up to now. My number is 2,200. We're up to like 2,300 people downloading.
Is that why your number is 2,200?
Yeah, exactly.
What shingles? When did this happen?
I had shingles in June. I had shingles, and that was really shitty. Yeah, it's like adult chicken pox.
You had shingles in June. Wait, when did we go to Cabo?
Cabo. So I don't know if you ever saw. I have a couple of scars on my body.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it was the shittiest thing I've ever experienced.
This was never brought up in Cabo.
No, I probably didn't want to. Yeah, it's
we were just talking about your asshole and other things.
Yeah. and top sitcoms. That was a great episode.
The biggest.
But yeah, everyone out there, keep subscribing, keep checking us out. And episode 54 or episode 53, the future of Star Wars film. We couldn't do without Vu or without Kenny, and screw Vu for not showing up, and screw Brad.
He's busy. I don't know what Brad's doing, but Vu's busy.
Yeah, I know Vu is busy, dude. The fact that we can get this with all of them in, it's pretty awesome. So,
when you asked
episodes later, here we are.
I know when you asked me, and I thought it was just gonna be me and you. I asked Sydney. I was like, "Is Vu busy?" She was like, "Yeah, he has this conference." I was like, "Okay."
Apparently, he's got a conference. Yeah. I don't believe it. I think they're both in jail. They're both.
Well,
we'll have to bail them out.
Yeah, we will. Well, I can't help over. You can help Brad. I can't help.
I guess I can't really either.
No, you got to go watch Red 1. You can't help.
Yeah, I'm watching Red 1, baby. Don't be distracting me.
Yeah, make sure your phone's on silent.
Yeah. That movie probably would be better if it was on silent. Honestly.
Yeah.
The Rock
I hope the visual effects look good from the trailers. So I hope it looks good. I hope
$250 million, so it should be.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean anything because movies with higher budgets can look worse.
Sometimes I think it's all a cash grab. Not a cash grab. It's a scheme of some sort.
Yeah, money laundering, totally.
Money laundering. There's for sure some sort of money laundering going on. But hey, man, thanks for joining us, and we will see y'all later. Peace out, world.